Good morning, students. I just want to discuss answers of the first Preboard exam which was conducted on 16th Jan. I don't know where your preparation is lacking. Many of the students, they could not write the answers completely correctly. Some could just write to some extent in a correct way, but many have missed the answers. The first question is, define respiration. What is respiration? As per your CBSE science textbook, the process of acquiring oxygen from outside the body and to use it in the process of breakdown of food sources for cellular needs. Acquiring oxygen and using it for the breakdown of food sources for cellular needs. It is respiration. Acquiring oxygen and using it for the breakdown of food sources for cellular needs is respiration. Second question is, what is the first event in the process of photosynthesis? There are three events in the process of photosynthesis. In that, first event is absorption of light energy by chlorophyll. Absorption of light energy by chlorophyll is the first event of photosynthesis. Third question, what is the basic event of reproduction? Remember, whether it is asexual reproduction or sexual reproduction, the first event of the basic event of reproduction is making a copy of DNA. Making a copy of DNA is the basic event of reproduction. Many have written fertilization is the first event of reproduction. Fertilization, it takes place after the gametes are formed. Before the gametes are formed, in order the gametes to be formed, DNA copying must occur. That is in sexual reproduction. In asexual reproduction, in order from one cell to produce the daughter cell, DNA copying must take place. So whether it is asexual reproduction or sexual reproduction, DNA copying is the basic event of reproduction. So DNA copying is the basic event of reproduction. Fourth question. What is a recessive trait? We all know that for every trait, a pair of alleles of a gene are present. A pair of alleles of a gene is present. A pair is present. In this pair of alleles, both alleles may be having the information for the same form of trait or contrasting forms of trait. If a trait is able to express itself even with the combination of a contrasting trait form allele, such a trait is known as dominant trait. If a trait is not able to express itself in combination with its contrasting form of allele, and it can only express in its homozygous allelic pair combination, such a trait is known as recessive trait. A trait that can express itself only in homozygous allelic pair form. So, a trait that can express only in homozygous allelic pair combination is known as recessive trait. Next, fifth question. What is biodegradable waste? The waste that can be decomposed by natural decomposers like bacteria and fungi is known as biodegradable waste. The waste that can be decomposed by natural decomposers is known as biodegradable waste. Next question, 2 marks question. Why organisms are restricted only to a maximum of 4 trophic levels in any given food chain? See, in the food chain, only 1% of solar energy is captured by producers, which is the first trophic level. Producers are the first trophic level organisms. From this first trophic level organisms, only 10% of energy is transferred to the next trophic level. Remaining trophic levels, that is third and fourth trophic levels, they receive only 10% of obtained energy from previous trophic levels. So fourth trophic level will have very less energy energy that is, transferred from its previous trophic level. So from this again, if 10% has to get transferred to the next trophic level, if any other trophic level is there, then those organisms cannot survive with that much less amount of energy. Because of this reason, only 3 or 4 trophic levels are present in any given food chain. Next question. What is the role of decomposers in the ecosystem? This is also for 2 marks. What decomposers do? Decomposers, they break down the complex form of dead remains of plant and animal bodies into the simpler units, so that these simpler units can get mixed up with the soil and nutrients can be recycled in the soil, so that again they will be added to the producers in any given food chain. If decomposers are not there, then the dead remains of plants and animals will pile up entirely on this earth, and there will not be any space that is left available for the survival of upcoming organisms. So decomposers, they are like natural scavengers that clean up the earth so that no dead remains are going to get piled up in the time period that is going on. So decomposers are the natural scavengers which clean the earth by decomposing the complex dead remains of plants and animals on this earth. If decomposers are not there, then these dead remains are going to get piled up and no space will be left available for the living organisms. Next question. How do unicellular organisms carry out their basic life processes? Unicellular organism, as the term implies, single cell itself is the complete organism. So, the entire surface of the unicellular organism is in direct contact with the environment. So, most of the life processes of unicellular organisms are carried out by means of simple diffusion. In order to write this thing, many students, they have written unicellular organisms, they carry out their life process by carrying out the basic metabolic activities, blah blah blah, like that. The actual point is the entire surface of the organism, the entire surface of the unicellular organism is in direct contact with the environment, so that most of the life processes of unicellular organisms are carried out by means of simple diffusion, like nutrition, excretion, respiration, etc. Since the entire surface of unicellular organism is in direct contact with the environment. Most of the life processes are carried out by means of simple diffusion itself. this has to be written. With this, I could explain in this class the 1 mark questions and 2 marks questions. 5 1 marks questions are explained and 3 2 marks questions are explained. And another 2 3 marks questions and 2 5 marks questions will be explained in the coming class. From now onwards, I may be explaining on this whiteboard so that you will not be having a continuous writing of notes. It's not that I will not give such notes like in previous classes. I'll give that also, but sometimes some questions will be explained to you using this board method. Okay, keep preparing well, and next pre-board is planned to be conducted from 8th February onwards. So prepare well and write well. Hope so all will attend and no one will be becoming absentee for the exam. Good luck. Thank you.